Assalamu alaikum, I'm Jizza Kashif. I'm currently doing my AS. I do a lot of volunteer work, I write, and I'm the student lead activist of a social media enterprise called Fairy Tales, in which we talk about domestic violence and abuse on children. But most importantly, I'm an animal lover. Throughout my life, I've owned 2 cats, 1 dog, 2 parrots, and a lot of fish. And I'm determined to shine light on the widespread mistreatment of animals in Pakistan. I grew up in a household where I was taught to love animals. I believe that every being on the planet should have fundamental rights, right to their own life and right to their own will, which would protect them from being subjected to cruelty or torture. But unfortunately, most of the people in our country do not believe that animals should have rights. Animals are viewed as commodities which can be used for their pleasure and can be exploited whenever they want. I started researching on this topic first when I was in middle school, and I found out that proper rights for animals, proper laws for animals do exist in our country. For example, the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1890, which recognizes it to be a criminal offense to kill or injure any animal with 5 years of imprisonment or fine. Also, under the same act, it's illegal to overload animals, etc. In 2020, the Islamabad High Court announced that all animals have legal rights and are entitled to protection under the nation's constitution. But one question that always came to my mind when I was doing this research was, when was the last time we saw these laws being implemented in our country? Or when was the last time we saw our government taking an action against animal injustice? Every year, more than 50,000 dogs die on the streets of Pakistan, and it is our own government that orders for the mass killing of these animals. That's when I started to think that I would take the first step and start working towards change. I believe in a quote that says, "Be the change you hope to see in the world," and that is something that has stuck with me throughout my life. I started volunteering for the animal rights wing at Arzu NGO, during which I made several videos for their social media platform on dog culling, animal health, contraction of diseases in animals such as coronavirus. I also wrote a research paper on the abuse of stage monkeys in Pakistan, in which I talked about the number of cases every year, the underlying causes of the abuse, and the preventative measures we as a society can take to overcome this abuse or to reduce it. Through Arzu, I had the chance to work for Todd's Welfare Society, which is an animal shelter in Lahore. I supervised and collected donations for the stuffed toy drive for the animals at the shelter. I'm currently working on 2 papers in which I discuss in detail the issue of animal health and animal rights in Pakistan, and what the government can do to minimize this and what we as society can do to minimize it. I recently conducted 3 workshops with my town's vet on animal health and pet grooming. It was a free workshop in which we answered routine questions that pet owners may have about their pets. In future, I do plan to open an animal shelter of my own, if not big, then just a small project. I've contacted a few people. I've contacted some friends and family members who are ready to pitch in and help me bring this dream to life. An advice that I'd like to give the youngsters is to be the one to take the first step if you see something wrong in the society, something that doesn't quite fit with you. Do not wait for others to take the first step. If you take the first step, others will follow you eventually. And to be more specific, I'd like to urge you all to start volunteering from a young age. Start volunteering for the well-being of animals of Pakistan and donate even as little as you can, so together we can bring a change in our society, help the animals of our country, and raise our voice for the voiceless together.